Once again, we are back. Hi guys, another episode where we're going to answer a question, and this one's actually a really popular question at the moment, as lots of people are using protective style. They are putting wigs on or weaves on, but they want to add a bit of zhuzh to it, want to put a bit of colour, and so that's what we're here to do today. But before that, let me remind you about the collaboration. So I'm Sharon Ajay from Josh Hair and Beauty, and we collaborated with Black Beauty and Hair magazine, and all the products that have been used are sponsored by Design Essential. So I've got the beautiful Cassandra with me today, and Cassandra has a beautiful natural weave and she wants to add a bit of colour to it. What was really easy is Cassandra loved bright colours. She's had a red before and she wants to try something different. So we've gone for copper, which is not as common, but it's going to really suit her complexion. So let's get started. So I'm just going to have the copper colour in her hair today, as we agreed earlier. But before doing that, you have to prep the hair. Now I've used a conditioning detangling spray that won't cause any barriers to the colour, but it will actually help keep the hair conditioned. It's a curly pattern, so if you're not careful and you use colour on it without protecting, you could lose the curl pattern. So what we've done is we've combed it out so it's easy to get the colour through, especially if you're using colour on curly hair. You have to make sure you detangle it and you can get it through, otherwise you won't get an even colour through it. I'm so excited about the colour. We're just about to mix the colour for Cassandra's hair, but before that I need to pre-lighten it. So I'm going to mix up the pre-lightening now. So what you want to do is create a very smooth paste. There mustn't be any bumps in it, because the two parts work together and they have to mix completely to be able to get it to be activated. So as I'm mixing it, you can see the paste is getting creamier and creamier, but you want to make sure there's no little bumps in the mixture so you can get an even colour. And to mix for a little while until you're confident that the paste is cream. So sort of separate, as you can see the bit in the middle. Again, you've got to make sure that it's not too runny, because you don't want it running down the client's face, but at the same time you want it thick enough so that it penetrates. Alright, I think we're ready to go. So what you want to make sure of is that you can run the comb through the hair so all the little strands of hair is even. Otherwise, when you finish colouring, you'll have some bits that haven't caught the colour. So run through, and if you have to detangle it, make sure you can get the comb smoothly through it before you apply the colour. Then to get the ombre effect, there's a couple of ways of doing this, but this is the quickest way I have found. Just gently back comb the hair into almost like it's graduated, and the hair that's left, you colour that. It all depends on how high up you want your ombre to be, but in Cassandra's case, when the hair is wet, it actually shrinks up. So we don't really want it to be too high. You've got to make sure you get enough of the pre-lightening through it. Every strand of the hair has to come in contact with it. So you have to go over, brushing it in. Make sure you do. And then to finish off, you take the brush and just do a stroking gentle motion, very, very lightly, because you want it to be graduated. You don't want to block colour. Once you've got that, close it up and leave it to develop. So I'm going to repeat the same thing throughout the whole hair. The pre-lightener has been on for a while, and as you can see, the colour's lifted. So what I'm doing is going as close to the target colour, which is copper, as possible, so then it's easy to kind of put the tone in. So when you're rinsing the colour off, you have to be really, really, really thorough. If there's any bits of the pre-lightener on left on the hair, it will still process, so you end up getting really uneven colour. So you have to rinse, over rinse here. So I've actually rinsed it all off, but I'm just giving it an extra rinse to make sure that there's no residue of the colour left or the pre-lightener left. Otherwise it will still lift it. You repeat that thoroughly throughout the whole head. We've rinsed that colour off, and you can see that we've got our base colour. It's a beautiful shade of copper. So what I'm doing now is I'm using the moisturising shampoo just to take it off and to make sure that I've replaced the moisture that I've just taken from the hair. Although it's extensions, what I recommend is you treat it like it's real hair. You get the best results. Okay, so excellent. We've got our toner, and it's a sunrise toner. It's I've mixed it up and it's ready to go on Cassandra's hair. It's beautiful. It's gonna look smashing. So let's go and apply it. I'm gonna apply the color to Cassandra's hair now. So again, just start from the back. You've got to make sure you really press the colour into the hair, because once the hair's been pre-lightened, you almost shatter the hair a little bit, so it absorbs a little bit slower than it would normally. So to help that, I'm going to just brush it in, and you can see automatically it's starting to show the colour. Just to remind you, this is a collaboration between Josh Hair and Beauty and Black Beauty and Hair. And if you have any hair questions or anything you'd like to see me do live, write in. The email's in the description box below. Excellent, we've got the colour on and it's still developing, but I'm just gonna set the top of Cassandra's hair. This is her natural hair, so it blends in. So first of all, we've washed it, and to protect her hair, I'm using the detangling leave-in conditioner by Design Essentials, of course. So rub that in. It's got a really nice fresh smell as well. Alright, now I was talking about this product earlier. This is gold. This is Design Essentials stretching cream. If you've got a curl pattern that's quite tight and you want to loosen it out, and sometimes when you put gel in it bounces back, this stuff keeps it stretched. So I'm going to take some of that and apply it to Cassandra's hair and twist it so it blends in with the weave. So I'm doing a twist quite small so that it matches with the curl pattern that she has. And if you've got a big curl or slightly, then you just take the sections accordingly. We've rinsed the colour off. Look at that. Beautiful. But to soften the hair back up, I'm using the moisturising detangling shampoo by Design Essential, just to get the hair to be supple again. We're going to go over and detangle Cassandra's hair. If you remember, I backcombed it. So now I'm going to just detangle that, put the product in and style, and Cassandra will be finished. Doing the final touches, and to help the natural hair to blend in, I'm twisting the natural hair into the extension. So I untwist Cassandra's real hair. And so I've got that out. Split that into two pieces. you want to build enough volume that top part is not so flat. Take a piece of the extension and twist them together.